Assalamu alaikum. Hi guys. Welcome to channel Narrator Noman. Valentina Tereshkova was born in a village in central Russia on 6 March 1937. Her father was a tractor driver and her mother worked in a textile plant. At the age of 8, she began her schooling but did not enjoy it much. She left the school within a few years. Afterwards, she completed her education through distance learning. She became interested in parachuting from a young age and trained in skydiving at the local aero club, making her first jump at age 2002 on 2001 May 1959. Narrator Noman. It was her expertise in skydiving that led to her selection as a cosmonaut. After the flight of Yuri Gagarin, the first human being to travel to outer space in April 1961, the Soviet Union decided to send a woman in space. On 26 February 1962, Valentina Tereshkova was selected for his project from among more than 400 applicants. Tereshkova had to undergo a series of training that included weightless flights, isolation test, centrifuge test, rocket theory, spacecraft engineering, 120 parachute jumps, and pilot training in MiG 50 UTI jet fighters. Since the successful launch of the spacecraft Vostok 5 on 40 June 1963, Tereshkova began preparing for her own flight. On the morning of 26 June 1963, Tereshkova and her bag of cosmonaut Sulububa were dressed in space suits and taken to the space shuttle launch fed by a bus. Narrator Noman. After completing for communication and life support sex, she was selected inside Vostok 6, finishing at finishing a 2-hour count, countdown. Vostok 6 launched flawlessly. Although Tereskova's experienced nausea and physical discomfort for much of the flight, the orbited the Earth 48 times and spent almost 3 hours in space. With a single flight, she logged for flight time than the combined times of all American astronauts who had flown before that date. Tereshkova also maintained a flight log and took photographs of the horizon, which were later used to identify aerosol layers within the atmosphere. Vostok 6 was the final Vostok flight and was launched 2 years after Vostok 5, which carried Valery Bykovsky into a similar orbit for 5 years, landing 3 hours after Tereshkova. The two vessels approached each other within 5 kilometers at one point, and from space, Tereshkova communicated with Bykovsky and the Soviet leader Khrushchev by radio. Months later, in 1977, Tereshkova earned uh, a doctorate in engineering from Zhukovsky Air Force Academy. Afterwards, the turned to politics. During the Soviet regime, she became one of the presidium members of the Supreme Soviet. Narrator Noman. Now, this living legend is a member in the lower house of the Russia legislature. On her 70th birthday, when she was invited by the Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin, she expressed her desire to fly to Mars, even if for a one-way trip. Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana was born in Karnal, India. She completed her earlier schooling at a local school. She is the first Indian born woman and the second person in space from this subcontinent. After graduating in aeronautical engineering from Punjab Engineering College, Saula moved to the United States in 1982. She obtained her master's degree in in aerospace engineering from the University of Texas. Later, she did her PhD in aerospace engineering from the University of Colorado. Narrator Noman. Determined to become an astronaut even in the face of the space shuttle Challenger disaster in 28 January 1986 that led to the deaths of its crew. Seven crew members. Saula joined NASA in 1988. She began working as a vice president, where she did com- computational fluid dynamics research on vertical takeoff and landing. In 1991, she got US citizenship and started her career as a NASA astronaut in 1995. She was selected for her first flight. In 1969, she spoke the following words while traveling in the weightlessness of space. You had just your intelligence. She had traveled 1067 million miles, as many as 2052 times around the earth. Narrator Noman. Her first space mission began on 19 November 1997 with six other astronauts on the space shuttle Columbia. On her first mission, that lasted for 50 years, 60 hours, 34 minutes, and 4 seconds, she traveled 6.5 million miles. She was responsible for deploying a Spartan satellite, which, however, malfunctioned, necessitating a spacewalk by Winston, Shokot, and Hakuhodoy.